What's cracking, mi gente? This your boy D once again, coming to you guys, ready to share some love and a little bit of knowledge. As you guys can see now, today I'm gonna be dropping another prison video, another prison story regarding something I witnessed in Centinela. I did almost a year in there, and throughout the whole year, I witnessed a few incidents, pretty vicious incidents. So I wanna be talking about those for the next video or so, and then I'm gonna start doing my life story, how I started doing time, to what led to my prison incarceration, where I started, where I went, and how I got there. But for today, let's get into some prison knowledge and some prison video. With that being said, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment. I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. So now let's get it. Centinela, right? So I did, like I said, almost a year in that prison, and I witnessed a few pretty vicious hits. There was a few of them that were pretty devastating to the victims and throughout the whole yard, because basically when incidents like this happen, the purpose of this incident, the violence that occurs in those yards, 9 times out of 10 he's used to be send a message to the other individuals in the yard: either you get in line, you follow suit, or this can happen to you. So that's the purpose of me sharing some of this video, so you guys can see the vicious and the gruesome attacks that go behind the wall. It's not just I'm gonna go in there, do my time, kick back, relax. Nah, especially the level 4s. Level 4s are vicious, they're deadly, and anything can happen anytime. You never know. Somebody might wake up in their own side of bed and things can escalate from 0 to 100. So today I'm gonna be talking about a certain individual that I did some time in two prisons. Basically, the way I encountered him, how it transpired, how he went from being one of the big shot callers in the yard, from being in good grades, to the whole yard jumping on him. Literally the whole yard. It was all the homies that were in the yard at that time. Probably maybe 15 or 20 of them didn't jump, but then near everybody else that was out there in the yard jumped. Everybody else got involved. And I will tell you the reason why and what transpires. It also had to do with this old man Toto and the other two senoras that were there in the yard. But I'm pretty sure he was the one that had the final say so, because at that time, he was basically the one that was doing all the calls. Yeah, there were other carnales there that he would consult. Toto for Santa Pablo was there in 2 block. And then you had Turtle from Colton, but I believe he was already back from the hospital, because he had went outside to the outside hospital for a back issue that he had. But I'm thinking he was already back when that incident happened. And the other carnal that was there was Boo Boo from Logan. He was alright, but don't get me wrong, he was a vicious old man as well. And he was no joke as either. I mean, he was okay for you. You can dialogue with him, you could talk to him, but at the end of the day, you can still see the viciousness in him. But I'm pretty sure this pegada, as I was told by the individual that this incident happened to, it had the call came from Toto himself. So with that said, let's get into the team. Boy from Florencia, Florencia 13. See, I met boy from Florencia 13 when I was in Centinela, BR. The individual had a lot of juice. I can't lie. The individual had a lot of power. He had a lot of connections within the prison system. But his main dude that he used to work with, as I was told by other individuals, supposedly he was related to him. I'm not 100% sure if that's a fact or that's true. I never really dug into too much or asked questions. Supposedly he was related to Tablas from Florencia, his homeboy. And he was working with them dudes from Tablas and Bavo. But his main dude that he used to mess with was Tablas. So when I got to BR, he was the one that had the yard at that time. There was other individuals. I believe Green Eyes from 18th Street was there as well. There was an Mesa. There was a few individuals. And at that time, I believe there's 2 fools there in the Mesa, and he didn't like that. There was always friction going on between these two individuals, Green Eyes from 18 and him. There was always some type of animosity. I don't know if it had to do because of their bodies used to beef with each other, or there was political game, but they always used to get into a little friction, basically. So when I met Boy, he was well established in Pelican Bay. He was running the yard. He was doing his thing, and there was a lot of dudes from Florencia there too. I mean, there was a Jesus. I counted maybe 17 of them dudes in the yard, and they were pretty deep. And they always come out and they always get together. They always chop it up. And Boy never walked around without either one of his homies always being with him or at least two individuals with him. That's the power he will create. That's the entourage he had. The power always drawn to him, and a lot of homeboys from his barrio, I guess, respect him and give him that type of respect and love. So they were attracted to him. So they always go with him. He always was around dudes, and he was the type of individual that if he wasn't from Florencia, he really didn't have much. He messed around with other homies. He would talk to other homies, but his whole get down was Florencia, Florencia. He would stand for his barrio. So when I left Pelican Bay, he was still over there. And then when I was in CR, as they were doing the transfers for to BR from Pelican Bay, when I was in C status, when I got to BR and I was in C status, I heard that they had got in there over there in 5 block before this whole little transition happened. Before Casper from Santana got there, before this dude transition transpired, he was the one that had um, 5 block. He was running for them dudes in the yard, but he was running basically for tablas, and that was something Toto didn't agree. Before Toto got there, he was running for tablas because Toto had that time having got there. So it was basically 5 block was like the South Central car, the South Central building, because there was a lot of them dudes. His celly was for South Central. He wasn't from Florencia, but his celly was for South Central. His name just escaped my mind right now, but he was an individual that had done a lot of time as well. They've been incarcerated for a minute, and that was his celly, and they fell out of grace with each other, but they were still celly. So the whole issue started with basically Boy was had the plug. He was bringing in the phones. He was bringing in the dope and everything. So when I landed in 5 block, one of my boys that I knew from reception and Pelican Bay, and I really got kind of close with him, was Joker from Florencia, from the Jokers, basically, from the Joker cliques. You know, Florencia had cliques. Me and him were pretty cool. See, the thing with Joker is he had got busted trying to build the clique out of Florencia over there by Watsonville. So a lot of homies from up north didn't really like it due to his case. His case was pretty messed up, man. Him and his crime, he did some foul shit to the homies from Watsonville. Some homies from Barrio Pobre, they got at him sideways. And the homies from Barrio Pobre didn't want him. Really, they wanted to hit that fool. They were pushing to hit him when he was in San Quentin. The reason why I know this was because I was in a cell with Perico. There was a family member clique from, basically it was 3 individuals from Watsonville. They were brothers. There was Little Perico, there was Big Perico. But their fools for Barrio Pobre were pushing to get this fool hit. Because I guess the case that transpired against his homeboy, they had done him really dirty. I mean, it was gruesome to the part where he was either crossing the line to like almost getting into the art jacket, because they sodomized this individual when they killed him. They really did him wrong. So the dudes from when he landed there, the dudes from Barrio Pobre and a lot of homies from Watsonville didn't want him on the tier. They wanted to blast him. He was in the 5th tier, and I remember I told you guys in a few videos, I was in the 4th tier, and that was like that's when the whole Northern California card started, from the 4th tier all the way to the 2nd. The 5th tier was basically a lot of homies from LA. I get which at that time they were sending there, but they wanted to blast this fool. And see, Little Perico was Marcelli, so he gave me a little rundown on what transpired. And at that time, the dude that had San Quentin was Snowman from Redwood City, which I knew him for years. But it came down to basically they wanted to leave him alone, because we knew it came down to them choosing to not touch him because it didn't cross the line, but the homies were not happy, so they were trying to figure out an excuse to get this fool, but they couldn't really get to him too much because see, we were in the front of the 4th tier, and 5th tier will go out with the back of the 4th tier, and they wouldn't let us get to the back. That was the homie was like, if you guys go back there, we're gonna deem you guys no good, whatever, whatnot. But so when I got to 5 block after C status, I got there and I see him being a porter. And I was like, hey, fool, what's up? What's cracking? What it do? What it do? You know? I was like, hey, homie, what's cracking? I need a clap. He's like, no, you sure? He's like, yeah, I need a clap. Fool, are you guys with it? He's like, yeah, we got some things. I got some, my homeboy got some things going on. You know, we running the place, la la la. And then the dude that had the place before him was a homie from Venice. But I knew him for a long time, so Cisco was like, I don't have the claps no more, fool. That fool has. And so I went to Joker, I was like, hey, fool, let me buy a clap off you guys. He's like, don't trip, I got you. And there was a Malo, some dude from South Central. He was like the one that was doing all the runs. Boy Selly was somebody else. I keep forgetting his name. He was from South Central, I believe 38th Street. I'm not sure. Um, so the point was they were selling phones. But I guess the issue that boy started having with the senoras in that time on the yard was that he was not telling them how much phones he was bringing in. Told on him to the senoras that he was bringing more phones than he was telling them to. And that didn't sit well with Toto. You guys know how that old man is. I already told you guys he was vicious like that. Especially when it came to money, he was no joke. So it got brought to the attention that he was sending love to Taulas, which that's what he's doing. And he was sending love to somebody else. Then there, I think it was Naira or somebody else. I'm not 100%, but there was another carnal there aside from the Florense carnales that he was sending love. Really plugged in with Pelican Bay. So it came down to, I guess they questioned him. They told him, look, we heard you are doing business with a black. Basically, a blood, him and the blood had the plug, but they were going halfers on everything they were bringing in. The senores wanted that route, and boy wouldn't tell them where that route was coming from. So it started to become an issue. So next thing you know, this is how all the phones in the yard got, at least 5 black got took, and that's when one of my phones got took. So I bought a clap of them, but I kind of found it weird. I bought it off them thinking like they're selling it, so I'm guessing it's coming from them. They're aware that he's full selling it. But when I did the final payment to them, because he was like, I give you half right now when that shit is on my hand, and I give you the rest. So you're like, all right, Charlie, because I was waiting for them to bring it in that weekend, and I told them, look, I'm not gonna pay for something I don't have in my hand, so I can give you half, put mine to the side, and then we can go from there. Because at that time, people were literally putting orders like that, because it was starting to get flooded, basically. But the class were a little, the clap I wanted was in a specific order, so I was like, hey, fool, look, I give you half, get it here when it's here, I give you the money, and then we go from there. So when the clap finally lands, it gets it to me. A clap doesn't work. I couldn't activate it. I couldn't do nothing. So he exchanged it to me for a different one he had. So I started doing my thing. But when he changed the phone, Joker tells me, hey fool, somebody asked you where you got this clap from. You didn't got it from us. I already know what's up. He like, no, if the homies ask you where you bought your clap from, don't tell them. I was like, why? You guys are doing legally, right? I mean, legitimate through the channels. He's like, yeah, but he's like, I'll tell you later. So I didn't put no mind to it. I grabbed my clap and I went on my viaje, doing my thing, calling, trying to get visits in, because I had just got off 90 days without visits. So I was trying to get my things going on, my ducks lined up in a row. So next thing you know, I start hearing that they're asking homies from 5 Black where they're buying the claps from. It's a homie that was a yard crew from Sangra, Evo from Sangra. He comes to me one day, we're sitting in a day where he goes, hey, perro, he's like, so you know the senores are asking about the clap this fool's selling. And they're saying they find out that they come from the blood, confiscate them. I was like, what do you mean coming from the blood? He's like, yeah, this is whole issue going on. This fool, I guess, didn't clear it with them, or he lied to them about how many they're bringing in, but they're having an issue with him. So the next day I go to yard to try to get like a feeling what's really going on. So I go to yard in the morning and I see boy talking to the carnales and I see boy talking to other individuals. So I'm like, huh. So I pull Joker to the side. He was in the bar and I was already jumping in on the soccer field. Because after my workout, I would go and run, do my soccer thing. So I will play soccer and then go and do my thing. So I pull him to the side like, hey, perro, like, what's up? I paid the near 1,500. I paid 1,500 for a clap. That's how much they were going for at the time. I was like, and I'm hearing this and this. Was cracking? Is it all good, or do I need to get reimbursed? Or qué onda? He's like, no, don't trip, fool. He's like, don't tell nobody you have one. Just keep it on the low. Mind you, at that time, Casper had just got moved to that block. like a week before that. So they told us like this fool's moving in here to trying to figure out who got claps and who got what. So if they come and ask you they're trying to buy phone times, do not deal with him. So like I said, he said he was loony from camps, and me and him were cool because it was Salvadorian. We used to chop it up. So I find out weird one day. He comes to my cell. I'm in the cell with some homie from Bakersfield, excuse me, from Bakersfield, Chuco from Bakers, and he goes, hey fool, I heard you got a clap. I'm trying to buy some time of you. I'm like, you heard what? I'm like, homie, I be buying phone time off this here. What are you talking about? I'm like, you guys selling claps? I'm interested in them. It was crazy. He's like, no, I thought you had one. I'm like, I don't have no phone though. So he turns around, he looks at me, he stares at me, but then he fell off. Then the weird part is, Shady from Lando, which he had the yard and C yard, and then got removed from there over. So I would tell the story how he got removed, and then he went to B yard, and they put the dogs on him, and then he checked in. I'll tell you guys the story how fucked up they did it. After he was the top man, he ended up in B yard being a nobody, and checked in, and man, I'm telling you guys, this was a crazy turnaround. But I'll tell you guys later. So Shady approached me. See, mind you, me and Shady never had no type of deals. Even when we went to CR, he used to think he was the shit. Like, nobody could talk to him. He would walk around because him and Brock from Colton were like big ass dude. That was a little bodyguard, and he was like a little midget like me. So he approached me. He goes, hey, homie, look, I don't know if you heard of my situation with Transpire over there in CR, but I'm trying to get a hold of my senor and explain the situation so I don't get removed from the yard. Like, I heard you had a clap. Can you send me some time? I was like, dude, I don't have a clap, because I was still iffy about the situation. So after I find out what really happened with him, I did sold him sometimes on overnights, and then we went from there. He was cool, I was cool, and then he told me his story, and I was like, man, that's messed up. But then people kept coming to the door asking me to sell him times, and I keep telling Chales. And there was another homie from South Central, Barrio Mojados. They kept coming to the door and asked me for it. So I was like, I'm cool, homie. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Stomper, fat ass Stomper from Barrio Mojados keep coming to the door. He was a board at that time, but I had saw him already fucking with Casper. So I was like, he's on his team. Well, the thing it came down was, I guess, basically, Boy was telling the senores he was only bringing this amount of phones and giving them, I guess, he was only bringing 10. He was giving them 4. He was keeping 6. But I guess out of that 6, he was sending 2 and 2 for the pillars in the yard that he was sending over there in Pelican Bay. He was keeping 1 for himself to re-up and do his thing. But he was also bringing the dope. And I guess on the dope, he was shorting them dudes. I don't know if that's 100% true. That's what I was told. And that's what got him on hot water. But what he told me when I saw him years down the road in a bus was like, basically, they just wanted all the phones and they wanted that route. And he wasn't willing to give it up because his Pili over there in Pelican Bay was like, I want this amount of money and I need this. I need you to do this. So he followed his Pili in Pelican Bay and was like, I'm going to keep doing who's telling me to do what I'm supposed to do is the person that I've been working for years. And I guess his familia, because they were family. So I guess Toto didn't sit well with Toto at all. So what transpired got back to my ears like, hey, if you go out to the yard today, stay away from Boy from Florencia. They're going to remove him of the yard. I'm like, they're going to hit him? He's like, nah, they're just going to remove him. They're going to boob up him. He's going to go to the back, explain himself over there in the back, and then go from there. I'm like, but the only person that's in the back is Chato. He's like, yeah, but he's going to either have to catch with something and then go to Pelican Bay because he got to go over there. But they didn't want him on the yard no more. But I guess Tablas, I spoke up for him. Like, if you guys hit him, then it's going to be a big issue. You guys can remove him off the yard so he can go to C yard, do what he has to do over there, or get transferred to another prison, but you guys are not going to hit him. So I guess they came to some type of agreement that we're just going to remove him off the yard, and he was going to go to another yard or another prison. This is where they get interesting. Like I said, there was a lot of dudes for South Central there. He had his little crew. Not specifically, he had about probably 6 or 7 dudes, and that block they were from Florencia. But there was a few dudes for South Central that were having his back. So I guess they got together, the Florencia car got together with the South Central car, and they decided if they remove this fool, we're going to jump for him. Somehow, some way, it got back to the Phillies' ear that was the talk. If they removed Boy due to something they believe the homies felt they was wrong, they were gonna jump. So the next thing you know, they're going around telling everybody on the tier, a porter, hey homie, check it out. If you go out there and mess with Boy, if you get involved in the situation, you're gonna be them no good. So I hear this telling them to the South Central and the Florencia specifically do. So I pulled Joker to the side because I fuck with Joker. And I was like, hey bro, what's cracking, homie? You straight? You good? He like, nah, fool. They trying to move the big homie, dog, boy, and that's not going to go down, dog. Fuck that, la la la. I was like, hey fool, look, this is what I heard, dog. They're gonna butcher you guys if you guys jump. He's like, we heard that. We don't care, fool. So it came to the point where I guess these fools were gonna jump if they touched Boy from Florencia. That's how much love and respect he had. I guess he was a good dude, or I guess he had to say so in Florencia. So it came down to that. And the police, I guess, was like, okay, this is how you guys wanna play it. And that's when Boo was supposedly for logo and say, oh, that's how you guys are gonna get at us? We were trying to just get this for removed, and you guys wanna play tough? Fuck this. So they got angry. They got really pissed off about the whole situation. Them fools saying they were gonna jump, and there was more individuals in other buildings for Florencia. So I guess them fools got put in the shine. Told them if you guys do decide to jump, for your career is over. So-called career is over. Next thing you know, Joker comes and hit me up like, hey fool, you got one of them things? I was like, yeah, homie, what's up? He's like, I need to borrow it, fool, because if we go to the yard today, if it kicks, I'm like, nah, no, homie, I'm not, nah, G, you got me effed up, homie. I'm not finna do that because I knew that if later came out that I have provided a weapon to this individual or I helped him acquire one, then I know who was gonna be next. And that ain't had nothing to do with me. Not that I was scared or nothing, but I'm not for South Central, not from LA. That was not my issue. Plus, a couple days prior to that incident, they had came and took every single phone. I got caught up on that because actually Toto and Turtle from Colton, they both pulled me to the side in the yard. And this is no BS. They both pulled me to the side. And this is what their word was. I remember correctly. Hey, homie, ¿sabes qué? Homito, we all here for each other. We're here for the raza. A nosotros no nos importa. It doesn't matter to us. He even spoke Spanish to me, which tripped me out. Toto, he was like, a nosotros no nos importa whatever you are. Si eres salvadoreño, mexicano, hondureño. We don't care. We're here for the raza. You guys are all homies to us. You guys are all had done a lot for us. So we're not trying to just take something from you. Like, I understand you pay for this. What we're gonna do? Just return it to us. Once this issue is done, we can work something out. It's like, so he tell me I have to pay extra to get the phone back. He was like, look, it won't be that much. It probably be like $300 or $400 more, which you already paid the individual. I was like, yeah, but I already made my purchase thinking he was okay with you guys because the knowledge that were in the yard was they were messing with you guys. Then Turtle goes, homito, I understand and it's really bad situation, but here, look, this is what I do. I know your homeboy working for Tiny Winos. I'm gonna have him move you to one block and then I'm gonna get you access to one of them and then we can go from there because I know you're doing your thing and I don't want to cut that short because you always looked out for me. Because I always look out for Wolfie and then I will send Turtle, excuse me, from Colton, my little cariño, because with me he was cool. He always been chill back. You can sit down and talk to him, and the reason why I kind of like him a little was because I had questions regarding history or knowledge of books that he had read, and he would always shoot me a book. The whole thing is like I always like to learn about different history, different things. I always study. I like books. I like to learn about things. So I was always asking questions regarding how it was and things like that. And he never gave me a wrong answer. He always endorsed my question and answered the best he could. So I kind of liked him a little bit. So I told her, look, man, it just don't feel right. I told her I make my own, her hard-earned money, and then I pay for something that I thought was right, and then now all of a sudden it is what it is. I was like, yeah. He's like, look, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna send one of your homies to get it from you, so you don't feel like we're punking you. But at the end of the day, that's what it really was. Them exercising their power over us and taking the stuff that didn't belong to them, but they felt it did. So I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, You guys can say I got punked, I got played. They took the phone. I mean, it is what it is. But I didn't give it to their little willies. I refused to give it to that fool Casper, his homeboys. My homeboy came and got it from me, but it is what it is. I still got it confiscated, so it was a loss, which I never got back. They never sold me the phone. When I did, when I asked him, like, hey, I got the $500 you guys told me. He like, nah, it's 15 or 18 if you wanted the same one. So they upped the price. They want to double. They want me to pay extra. I was like, Charles, I'm good. I'm not finna pay all the money for something that already belonged to me, and then it is what it is. So I was already mad. But this is when it transpired. So they sent everybody, tell them that nobody was supposed to jump. If not, they were gonna get hard-handed. They were gonna get poked. They were gonna get weapons. For a boy, I guess it was just a simple removal. But here's where it got a little funny, because after all these fools, this is where things get interesting, right? So basically, it came down to them dudes, all of them fools from South Central, all of them dudes from Florencia, got told if you guys jump, your so-called career is over. That's it. Next thing you know, all of them fools were like, we can do nothing, la la la. So morning yard comes around, and all of them go to the yard, and that's when it's gonna happen. They're gonna send, I guess, 3 shooters to him, because he was a big boy. Boy was a big boy. They were gonna send 3 shooters to him, and they were gonna remove him of the yard. They weren't gonna use no weapons. That was the agreement. No weapons, I guess, just removing of the yard. So, like me, always I'm in the yard playing soccer. He's walking around with his homeboys, I guess, giving them the last witches and say so. And then he started doing pull-ups. So he comes up to me, he goes, hey, fool, dispensa about the cuerno, homie. I didn't want to put you in a predicament, but don't trip, I'm going to reimburse you. As soon as I get situated where I'm going, I'm going to send the money to you. Which I kind of knew it probably won't happen, but I was like, cool, firme. So this dude goes to Joker, and then I see him shaking hands with all them fools. And then he goes up to the senores, look at them, he's like, let's get it over with. I hear that part, and I'm like, firme. So he started walking towards 3 block. There were the bleachers there, and there was, I guess, the shooters were waiting for him there, because he had told them, you guys don't need to rush me where somebody else can get hurt. I'm going to go and take mine like a G, and it is what it is. Which I respect. I mean, it takes courage, but it can happen if you know you're going to get blasted. But he was confident enough that they were just going to remove him, because that was the agreement that had worked out, I guess, between them, the Mexican Mafia guys. So these dudes start walking from the bars all the way through 5 block, 4 block, then he gets to 3 block. Then the 3 shooters are waiting for him there. I believe one of the dude's name was Mahmoud, and there was a from Longo, and there was 2 other individuals. They were big boys too, though. This is where it gets real interesting. This fool goes in there and goes, like, let's get it over with, I guess. And the other homie take off on boy. Boy gets hit right in the face, doesn't bug him at all, doesn't bother him, doesn't move at all. So he started chunking with 2 of them. The other third individual jump and start fighting. His little homie, which was named Boy from Florencia as well, he was by the track. He was doing, like, I guess, laps or working with a homie. But he was close to by the soccer field and the bars. His seat was transpiring with his older homie, and I guess he meant what he said, like, I'm gonna jump for you, don't trip. So he take off running from the soccer field, crossing all the way through the handball court, like going towards where the bleacher, where this fool's getting boo bombed. And this is where it gets so messed up, and it really kind of like blew my mind. This fool's jump, he take off running. He's running to the bleachers. I see the bleachers, they're like 10, 15 homies there. I see everybody in the bleachers get up, and they're waiting for him. I look behind it, because I'm telling you, I got the best view since I'm on the soccer field. I see everybody. I turn around, and I see another about 15 homies running after little boy from Florencia. So I'm counting about 30 homies. Man, by the time this dude gets to the bleachers trying to intervene for his homeboy, they jump on this kid. I mean, it was at least 40 individuals on this kid, just booking him, punching him, blasting him. They were trying to hit him. And I said there were weapons involved because I saw dudes digging into the bleachers, pulling the fierros out of it. You know how it is. So they start blasting this fool. They start hitting this fool. And everybody's jumping. And then I guess 2 more people decide to start jumping older boy, because the dude wouldn't go down. This dude was giving these 3 individuals the business. And look, this fool was fighting all 5 of them, and he wouldn't go down. Finally, I guess the police are coming. They started spraying everything. They started trying to figure out what was what. So they all lay down. Fools, they have fierros move away, and then they stuck the fierros. I don't know how or why this kid survived. I guess there was so many of them. They were on top of them, and then dudes were literally homies were punching each other trying to get to this dude. So they cuff Big Boy and they take him to the program office. Then they trying to figure out who was the victim. They found the dude. He had a little blood and he was leaking, and they take him as well to the program to medical, and they cuff everybody who was around there on the whole, even the dudes that didn't jump, because there was a couple homies that didn't jump that were on that side of the track. They finally get it. They cuff, like I said, they cuff everybody that was there, man. Everybody that wasn't even involved. There was people that was involved in it. Everybody that was around them. Even us that were by the soccer court, because a lot of homies ran back to the soccer court. All of us got cuffed up. Literally, we were sitting there for 2 hours. But it really blew my mind was that these dudes got jumped by then near the whole yard. 4 individuals. And it was like crazy. Everybody got sent to medical. The people that were involved, they had bruises, I guess, on the knuckles or whatnot. They got sent to the gym, and everybody else got sent to the pods, right? But I'm sitting there thinking, I've been down probably like 15, 16 years already. Boy, he have been working with them for a long time. And that transpired. The whole yard jumped on these 2 individuals, which is seen unreasonable because it's 2 individuals. I mean, you don't have to send everybody, but I guess Toto wanted to make a statement. If you say you're going to jump for somebody when I tell you not, then this will transpire. I will have the whole yard, all Sureño Southern residents jump on you guys. This is the power that I carry. This is the power that I will. So the message here of the story is, this individual doesn't care if you've been working with them for 15, 20 years. If they feel like you're no use to them, or they feel you're a threat to them, or you trying to rise above them, because boy, to my knowledge, he was already going up the ranks. He had been doing a lot of things for them. Supposedly, he already had 1 boat, 2 boats, and he was waiting for a 3rd boat to be made. So his aspirations were a little bit higher. I don't know if it's true that the boats were given, but he had the support of a few pilis, few señores. But this is what transpired. You have individuals that be working with them for so long. They had connections to Pelican Bay where they were supposed to be respected. They're still removing from VR. At least they didn't pull weapons on him. But this is what transpires. This is what these guys do. They use you, abuse you, then throw you away like garbage. He gets to the hole, and a couple weeks later, like I said, I got snatched up. I went to the hole, and then he was a few doors down. So I see him go to shower. So I'm like, "What's up, fool?" And then the homie next door goes, "Hey, homie, that fool ya estuvo. Don't be talking to the fool. That fool checked in." So I was like, "Huh?" So he sends me a wheel, because like I said, he was a couple doors down. So my vecino was a Moreno. I guess he knocked to the Moreno's door, and the Moreno just fished inside myself from my left side and pushed the kite in, and I read it. It was like, "Hey, fool, I'm checking in. Ya estuvo. I can't do this no more. These fools did me wrong. How the hell they gonna remove me off the yard because of this and this?" He's like, "Be careful, fool. These fools are grimy. You know how this game is. I done be doing this for that." So I guess, but this is with the point. They were mad in the yard because this dude from the whole called Pelican Bay and told them those that I was sick. Somebody did a 3-word for him, and he told them that he was checking in because of this and this, and that he was done. And they were mad in Pelican Bay because they had pushed this fool to the SNY yards. But the OGs in the yard were mad because he had called the Cardenales while he was thinking of checking in, and the Cardenales allowed it. I guess that's how they felt. But the point of this is, the moral of the story is, we've seen this happening through time, in and out. This dude use these dudes, abuse them, do what they have to do, and then discard them, throw them away like garbage, like nothing. This is what's messed up, man. I got a story. I got a subscriber that reached out to me saying he wanted to tell me a story how he was 18 years old. They're trying to smut him up in LA County. He went through the beatings and everything, never checked in, gets to the yard, goes through the same thing, never checked in, and at the end of the day, the dude that put the jacket on him was wrong. So to you guys, to you youngsters out there, 15, 18 years old, going through juvenile, think about it, man. This is not an aspiration. You guys want to be inspiring to be something. And mafioso, señor. Because on the end of the day, while you guys are racing to the ranks, what gives that somebody's not going to pencil whoop you, politic you, and get you off, and your life can be lost? Like that norteño in Pelican Bay that lost his life. And now all of a sudden, it's a done issue. Nobody can even talk about it no more. Because they in cahoots. Because the money is more important than the manpower. The money is more important to them than the life of individuals. They have set all these wars and shed all this blood in the yards when they were back there. Now they come out, they don't want to shed no more blood because it can involve them. They can get touched now. And all of a sudden, one individual's murder doesn't matter anymore. It can be spoken about. One message is not sending to you guys. But yeah, we still have individuals that don't be active with the business. But when they put in a predicament, when they get hit, I bet you they start thinking about checking in. And I'm not minimizing that, because we should be thinking about making a change in our life, whether you're serving time or not. Prison is not the way to go about it. Gang banging is not the way to go about it. There's a better life out there than gang banging. Go make money. Go be a business. Start your own company. Do you. Create something that can be yours so nobody can take it away from you. Youngsters, you guys are hella smart. This young generation is hella smart. You guys are brilliant. You guys got phone. You guys got this technology that you guys can use to make something. Create apps. Create a software that can make you so much money, can make you million. Aspire to be that, a businessman, instead of being a cholito, a mafioso, a gangster. Look at what's going on, man. Look at the stories that are being put up there. People killing 70, 50-some-year-old war veterans. And you guys wonder why we can get a second chance, the people that come home, because sometimes we got individuals like those that throw away the chances that they get and mess it up for the rest of the people that do want to change. I came home and I made a change for myself. I started going to church. I started doing my thing. I started working. I'm building my own company, and I'm doing this message for you guys. We can do it, just like you say. I did it, and I was just thugged out the game. I was marero through and through. But I realized that the marero life wouldn't give me what I wanted. I didn't have a penny to myself when I was in there. When I came home, I had a little change, but it still didn't matter. I can be better. There's money to be made on the streets. There's something that you can make out of yourself other than gang banging and pushing the collar or banging the number. You guys can do better, youngsters. Don't aspire to be a gangster or a cholo or a mafioso. Aspire to be a businessman. Aspire to be a millionaire that created something, maybe for the gente, maybe for your country where you come from. Create something that we can give back to the communities, because we need that positivity. We need the positive attitude, man. That's why I do this. That's why I create this. That's why I share these stories. Not to glorify the violence, not to glorify any of these mafiosos, not to glorify what transpired, but to create a change. To tell you guys we can do better. You can do it. Whoever tells you can do it, you amount to nothing, is wrong. Put it in your heart, because I know you can do it. I did it. Done it. And we'll keep doing it. Like I said to you guys, remember, this channel is for you guys. Don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button. This is for you guys, man. We're doing this. Let's get it. Let's hit the subscribers. Let's get it. Let's achieve to thrive more. Let's work on it together for you guys. I'm here to you guys. You guys want me to discuss something? Like I told you guys, let me know. The next video is going to be coming how I went from juvenile to county to prison and how my whole life shattered in a second of a moment when I made a decision. With that said, man, you guys already know what it is. Let's get it.